So I'm back again for the third time. This video is about basically me having PCOS, which is actually very common now. When I first was diagnosed with it, it wasn't common, and I had no idea what it was. I thought I was the only person on earth who had this polycystic ovary syndrome. I had never heard of this in my life, and like I said, I was 18 at the time, diagnosed on my 18th birthday, matter of fact. And it was just basically a fluke that I found out that I had it. Pretty much my pediatrician was out of town, so I had like pretty much my last pediatrician appointment because I was turning 18, and it was a fill-in for my doctor, and it was a male, sorry, and he looked at my face and he touched it, and at that time I had like huge like sideburns. I really hairy, and I still am like very hairy, but like I get waxed and all this stuff now. But he touched my face and he looked at me, and he says, "I really want you to get these tests ran on you." And I'm like, oh my god, like what the hell is wrong with me? And so immediately I had to fast and do all these tests and etc. So I went back to him, and this is on my 18th birthday when they made the appointment for me to see him. He said, well, you have something called PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome. And I'm like, what? Like, does this mean I'm dying? Do I have cancer? What is this? Like, my mind just went everywhere. And so he kind of explained it to me, and all I heard him say was that you're not dying. So that's all I needed to hear. And I was 18, I didn't care anymore. I was like, whatever. So they ended up giving me a prescription for Metformin. He said, take this, etc., etc. It'll help you. So, I think I ended up taking the Metformin for a couple days, and it really upset my stomach. I just stopped taking it. I never thought about PCOS again for maybe up until I was 24, 20, somewhere like recently, basically. I'm 26 now. It didn't bother me because I figured, okay, I wasn't ready to have children yet, so that wasn't a big deal. I didn't really see how it was really affecting me. All these things just wasn't a big deal to me. So, wow. I turned 25, and now I'm starting to think, I want to have children. I want to do this. I see my body is changing. My cycles have completely stopped. They come, basically, whenever they want to. Okay, but before I get into this, I want to read this for people, I guess, who don't really know what PCOS is, and I have a hard time explaining it myself. So it says, polycystic ovary syndrome is a condition in which there is an imbalance of a woman's female sex hormones. This hormone imbalance may cause changes in the menstrual cycle, skin changes, small cysts in the ovaries, trouble getting pregnant, and other problems. Female sex hormones include estrogen and progesterone, as well as hormones called androgens. Androgens, often called male hormones, are also present in women, but in different amounts. So it also goes on. So some of the symptoms for ladies out there who think you may have it, or you're not really sure, etc. And also, women are usually diagnosed when they're in their 20s or 30s, or teenage girls, which is when I found out. Symptoms: Changes in the menstrual cycle. I can't pronounce words today. I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I drank too much last night or something. Absent periods, usually with a history of having one or more normal menstrual period during puberty. So, my cycles used to come regularly. Like, I started my cycle really early, about 3 days before my 11th birthday. And my cycles from that point, they were coming every month. I had horrible cramps and, just, it was there. It wasn't a problem. The next symptom, irregular menstrual periods, which may be more or less frequent and may range from very light to very heavy. Well, they started becoming irregular. They started just not coming. I would go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months without a cycle. When I did get one, I will, and even now, I will bleed for maybe sometimes a month or longer. Sometimes I had to take Provera, all these things, but that's other things I'll get into later. Development of male sex characteristics. Decreased breast size. Well, it didn't decrease my breast size. My breasts are really big. Deepen the voice. It didn't do that. Enlargement of the clitoris. No comment. Increased body hair on the chest, abdomen, face, as well as around the nipples. So as far as hair around my nipples, I don't have. On my chest, it's like really light. I guess it's like normal that a woman would have. It's not like my chest is not hairy. Abdomen, I have like the line going down, but sorry, my shirt is like dirty from eating gumbo. But I have like a line of hair that goes down, but it's not like I don't have a hairy stomach or chest or whatever. And then the face. Now, the face, definitely, like I said before, I had the sideburns. It came down. I would grow like chin hairs and mustache or whatever. Whatnot. So definitely, I did have that. And then the next symptom was thinning of the hair. Thinning of the hair on the head, called male pattern baldness. I didn't have that. Other skin changes, acne that gets worse. I didn't have acne. Dark or thick skin markings, increases around the armpits, growing, neck, and breast due to insulin sensitivity. I haven't had that yet. So it just says the test and stuff they'll run: estrogen levels, FSH, LH, testosterone, lipid, prolactin, thyroid, fasting glucose, vaginal ultrasound, pelvic, I can't pronounce the word, sorry. So basically, you guys can read up on it if you choose to, but it is something that I have, and with me trying to lose weight, it is hard. The body is insulin resistant. And it's kind of just like depressing, because it's just like, damn, why? And I understand that God does everything for his own personal reason, or I won't say personal, but for his own reason. So, I can't question it too much, but sometimes it is like kind of hard, and it doesn't seem like a big deal because it's not something that may be life-threatening or whatever, but it does cause sorry, it does cause some changes and differences in your body. And I never know about ovulation, my cycle. I never know anything basically with my body. I just don't know. It's like one day I can just be at work and I'll just start bleeding out of nowhere. You know, before I used to have signs, I would have cramps, I would, you know, have signs leading up to my cycle. Now I don't. You know, I can just go to urinate and wipe, and I'll see just like faint pink, and it goes into like a full cycle or whatnot. So last year, last year, I guess I'll say, it's like New Year, I did get all my testing done and whatnot, and most of the things were okay. I went through taking Clomid. It did make me ovulate. I also was given Metformin, and so that is what I really want to talk about right now. Is that I've heard really bad stories about Metformin, and like I said, I took it for a couple of days before when I was 18. I really want to start taking it tomorrow to help calm down the symptoms of PCOS, also to see if it will start my cycle back regularly, so I can track, you know, to see if I'm ovulating, to see whatever, because like I said, you know, I want to have children, and I want to know when I'm ovulating, if I'm ovulating, if I'll need Clomid, or whatever. So I just want to know if any women out there have taken Metformin, and it, you know, I want to know the pros and the cons. Like, did it make you sick? You know, I've heard diarrhea, gassy. I've heard like all kind of things like that about it. And also want to know if it if it started your cycle for you, if you ovulated with it. What did Metformin do for you, I guess, is what I want to know. Because like I said, I do want to start taking it tomorrow night. So I'm thinking, just in case it does, you know, do something to my stomach or makes me sick, I'll just start taking it like at night, so I'll be home. So maybe like around 5 or 6 I'll take it, and see what it does. But I really want to hear you guys' stories about, you know, if it helped you or not, or how you feel about it. I was prescribed 1,000 milligrams, I believe. So I'll start off the first week with just 500, and then I'll go into the second week and do 1,000. I know there's some women who take 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams of it daily. I was only prescribed 1,000. So I just want to know what you think, your story with PCOS, and what you think about Metformin and other things that have worked for you to conceive, and also just calm down the symptoms and the weight with PCOS. So I'm just curious. So if there's any ladies out there with PCOS, you have any insight about this medication, please comment me, subscribe to me, or send me a private message or anything. And also, if there's any ladies out there who was just diagnosed with it, or who has it and just wants to talk about it and just compare, you know, stories and notes and stuff, or you just need someone to talk to about it, please comment me or message me privately, so, you know, we can talk. I know this can be a very difficult thing. I'm pretty much at my mark, so I'll just make another quick video to finish what I want to say about this. And yeah, so I'll see you guys really, really soon.